Here are 6 things about intimacy in relationships that women wish that their men, that their husbands knew, and this is going to change everything. Let's get into it. Number 1, she wants you to be in charge of intimacy. And intimacy isn't sex. Intimacy is connection. And sex, well, we think of sex as penetration and an orgasm as a goal, but that's biology. In the intimacy game plan in my work, when you're here with me now, we've redefined sex as pleasure because giving and receiving pleasure is the most intimate thing that you can share with your partner. And if you're not feeling the connection, then she's not going to be having that craving. So that's why we huddle, because it creates connection. And this that's a huddle sound. It's also the sound of pleasure, and the sound of desire and cravings. Number 2, she doesn't want you to be perfect. She wants you to be present. So when it comes to the bedroom, don't worry about the pills. Focus on pleasure, whole body pleasure, hers and yours. That's the turn on. Being with her. You're not trying, you're not performing for her. You're being with her. So turn on those huddle sounds and follow them like a GPS. You're mapping your whole body of pleasure, your sensual sounds. One of my husbands said he was taking an inventory of her freckles. Talk about feeling seen. Oh, now that's sexy. Number 3, you need to be emotionally safe for each other 90% of the time outside of the bedroom so that you can be dangerous 10% of the time in the bedroom. And that takes discipline. Being emotionally safe for yourself, for your partner, that is a discipline. And that's part of why we huddle. It's about emotional regulation. If you don't know what to say or what to do, and you use these sounds, huddle sounds, you are creating emotional safety and connection. When you huddle, you're not agreeing, you're not disagreeing, you're saying, okay, you're building safety and trust and understanding. Huh? That's it. That's a huddle sound. So care for each other so that you can be dangerous together. Now that's when it gets exciting. If you want to have a hot, playful relationship, you need to be the team captain. You are holding the safe container so that you can play together. Make sense? That's a huddle. Number 4, intimacy starts outside of the bedroom, and that doesn't mean that you have to do more chores. The easiest way to create that intimate connection is to huddle for connection. So you can do that in the living room, you can do it in the kitchen, you can do it everywhere. She needs you to lead, even when it's her week, because in the program, we take a week where you lead it and then a week where she gets to lead it. But even on her week, you need to be the one to remind her. Why? Because she doesn't need to have another thing that's on her mind that keeps her busy, that feels like another thing she has to be responsible for. You're the team captain. You're the one who says, come on, it's time we huddle. And hey, you're leading it this week. Come on, we have a practice. Come on, we have a game. That's what the team captain does, right? And because she wants you to be in charge of intimacy instead of being roommates passing in the hall. When my husband leaned over and he went, he made a yummy huddle sound. And then when he got to his destination, his room, his office, wherever he was going, he sent her a little text that said, you and me, Friday, 7 p.m. That's it. No words were exchanged. And now they're both anticipating. Number 5, she wants to be soft. She doesn't want to be controlling. She doesn't want to be in charge of everything. She wants to feel safe enough to drop her guards. So you are going to create the emotional and physical safety. That means no surprises. I have a saying, I have a lot of them. Don't scare the bunny. So that when you hold her, be firm about it, be still about it. And when you do that huddle, those huddle sounds, and you hold her in a hero hold where you're just holding her from behind, keeping your hands still, that builds trust, emotional trust and physical trust. You want her to be in the mood. Mood means state of mind, and that's created in silence and in stillness. Change her mind and her body will follow. Help her drop her guard. Number 6, intention. Be intentional with your connection. You are a leader, and leadership means action, taking action. When you have a plan and you're following through on that plan, she trusts that you are in charge, and that increases her desire. You're also building anticipation and chemistry because you're huddling together, because you're setting times. You have these practices that just make you want more and more. When you know where you're doing and what you're doing and when you're doing it, Friday, 7 o'clock, my clients call it heart time because that way they know that they're just going to connect and that they're going to focus on the pleasure and that they're both going to love it. And that's what makes her feel secure. And that's what makes her feel sexy. That way she can drop her guards and her lists and be open to you. And you can both get your needs met. That's the power of a plan. Intimacy isn't luck, it's a team skill. I'm Amy Keller, your intimacy coach, and that's why I created the Intimacy Game Plan. This isn't more theory. This isn't another conversation. This is sports strategy because love, sex, intimacy, relationships, that's a team skill. The name of my book is The Huddle, How to Score in Sex and Love. It's not woo-woo, it's science. And it only takes one of you to start. One of my wives started, and by week 2, without any prompting, her husband led the huddle, and she melted. This is the shortcut to intimacy. Like I say, it's not therapy. You're not working on it. You don't have to figure it out. The intimacy game plan is a system that gives you structure and rhythm and a practice so that you trust that you're going to get better and better partners and lovers for a lifetime. Now, doesn't that sound good? Let me know in the comments, what do you wish that your partner knew about intimacy? Or leave me a heart in your favorite color because I'm Amy Keller and I'd love to know that you're here. Hit like, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this with someone so that more people can find love and connection. You'll find a link in the description for the intimacy game plan, for a free huddle class, and for more. And in the meantime, stay connected to yourself, each other, and me, and I'll see you soon. Sound good?